Hello, Shock of God. This is a response to your challenge to prove that atheism is true and correct. Let me start by reading you a passage from what I consider to be a good book. Discworld is real. It's the way worlds should work. Admittedly, it is flat and goes through space on the backs of 4 elephants, which stand on the shell of a giant turtle, but consider the alternatives. Consider, for example, a globular world, a mere crust upon an inferno of molten rock and iron. An accidental world made of the wreckage of old stars, the home of life, which, nevertheless, in a most unhomely fashion, is regularly scythed from its surface by ice, gas inundation, or falling rocks travelling at 20,000 miles an hour. Such an improbable world, and the entire cosmos that surrounds it, was in fact accidentally created by the wizards of Unseen University. It was the dean of Unseen University who in fact destabilized the raw firmament by fiddling with it, possibly leading to the belief, if folk memory extends to subatomic particle level, that it was indeed all done by somebody with a beard. Infinite in size on the inside, but about a foot across on the outside, the universe of Roundworld is now kept in a glass globe in Unseen University, where it has been the source of much interest and concern. Mostly it's the source of concern. Alarmingly, it contains no narrativium. Narrativium is not an element in the accepted sense. It is an attribute of every other element, thus turning them into, in an occult sense, molecules. Iron contains not just iron, but also the story of iron, the history of iron, the part of iron that ensures that it will continue to be iron and has an iron-like job to do, and is not, for example, cheese. Without narrativium, the cosmos has no story, no purpose, no destination. Nevertheless, under the ancient magical rule of as above, so below, the crippled universe of Roundworld strives at some level to create its own narrativium. Iron seeks out other iron. Things spin. In the absence of any gods to do the creating of life, life has managed against the odds to create itself. Yet humans who have evolved on the planet believe in their hearts that there are such things as gods, magic, cosmic purpose, and 1,000,000 to 1 chances that crop up 9 times out of 10. They seek stories in the world which the world, regrettably, is not equipped to tell. The wizards, feeling somewhat guilty about this, have intervened several times in the history of Roundworld when it seemed to them to be on the wrong track. They encouraged fish, or fish-like creatures, to leave the seas. They visited the proto-civilizations of dinosaur descendants and crabs. They despaired at the way ice and falling comets wiped out higher life forms so often, and they found some monkeys who were obsessed with sex and were quick learners, especially if sex was involved or could, by considerable ingenuity, be made to be involved. Again the wizards intervened, teaching them that fire was not for having sex with, and in general encouraging them to get off the planet before the next big extinction. In this they have been guided by Hex, Unseen University's magical thinking engine, which is immensely powerful in any case, and with Roundworld, which from Hex's point of view is a mere subroutine of Discworld, and is practically godlike, although more patient. The wizards think they have sorted it all out. The monkeys have learned about their permanently threatened world via a type of technomancy called science, and may yet escape frozen doom. And yet, the thing about best-laid plans is that they don't often go wrong. They sometimes go wrong, but not often, because of having been, as I've said, the best laid. The kind of plans laid by wizards who barge in, shout a lot, try to sort it all out by lunchtime and hope for the best, on the other hand, well, they go wrong almost instantly. There is a kind of narrativium on Roundworld, if you really look. On Discworld, the narrativium of a fish tells it that it is a fish, was a fish, and will continue to be a fish. On Roundworld, something inside a fish tells it that it is a fish, was a fish, and might eventually be something else. perhaps. That was the foreword from the book The Science of Discworld III, Darwin's Watch. It was written by Sir Terry Pratchett, Stewart and Jack Cohen. Sir Terry Pratchett, who is pictured here, has a long white beard, and is getting on a bit. He is also partial to dressing almost entirely in black and wearing a wide-brimmed hat like the one you can see in the picture, but I guess that's just one of his mysterious ways. He is the creator of the Discworld, along with all of its inhabitants and the universe that it occupies. I know this because it says so in nearly all of his books, in the section about the author, and if you should seek him out and ask him yourself, he will confirm this. Now, I present this passage to be an alternate theory for the creation of the earth and all its inhabitants and the universe in which it resides, and I contend that it is just as valid, presents just as much evidence, and is just as verifiable as the opening chapters of Genesis. I further contend that this is the written word of Sir Terry Pratchett, the creator of a universe who is honoured by kings and queens. My question to you, Shock, is this. If atheism is not true and correct as you contend, then you must also agree that this passage that I have just read has just as much credence, holds just as much truth as the version presented by Christian mythology. You must further agree that it cannot be denied that Sir Terry Pratchett is, like the Christian God, the creator of a universe, and the passage that I have presented to you is his literal word. If you cannot agree with all of this, then you should look at your reasons for doing so, and in your disbelief in the account that I have presented to you, you shall see why atheism, simple disbelief, is the default position, and that it is in fact correct.